Bitzskee.
The Dragon and the Mouse. Rory and Miles, the legend of the Sky Guardian. The Valley of Windermere is in peril, threatened by a dark magical force. Only two unlikely heroes can help. Rory, a young and ambitious dragon who cannot roar, and Miles, a clever mouse with a heart full of courage. Together, they must face daunting quests to save their home. With the valley's fate in their hands, they are the only hope left. Will they rise to the challenge and live up to their destiny? Or will they fall, like the legends before them? Episode 1: The Quest for the Crystal Feather. Prologue: How it began. In the hidden valley of Windermere, where clouds touched the treetops and rivers sang songs to the sky, lived a young dragon named Rory. Rory had shimmering azure emerald scales, wings as wide as a wagon, and a heart as warm as a campfire. But Rory had a problem: he was afraid of heights. That's right, a dragon afraid to fly. In the same valley, under the roots of an old oak tree, lived a mouse named Miles. Miles was small, clever, and incredibly brave, especially for someone who wore a thimble as a helmet. One misty morning, the peace of Windermere was shattered by a bang and a flicker of dark magic in the sky. The crystal feather, a powerful relic that protected the valley, had been stolen. Without it, plants began to wilt, the river slowed, and the sky turned grey. The village elder, a wise old tortoise named Tullius, called a meeting. "We need someone to journey to the Shadow Tor and retrieve the crystal feather," he said. "But beware, it is guarded by a terrible creature, the shadow serpent." No one volunteered. Until Miles squeaked, "I'll go." Everyone gasped. "But Miles, you're tiny." "I won't be alone," he replied. "I'll take Rory with me." Rory's wings twitched nervously. "Me." Miles climbed up to Rory's snout. "You're the bravest dragon I know, even if you don't fly yet," he said. "We will figure it out, together." Rory gulped, but nodded. Chapter 1: Into the Wild. The two set off the next morning with a compass, a loaf of bread, some meaty chunks, and a slither of whole cheese, prepared by Rory's mother Ina. They had a map, well, actually a pancake. It had syrup on it that looked like directions. This meant they could find their way, and Rory also had a little snack for later. They crossed the wangled woods, where trees told tales to tempt visitors. They reached the towering rocks and scaled the slippery slopes of the Shadow Tor, where wind howled like wolves. Rory flapped his wings a little each day, gaining his strength so that one day he could fly. That evening, as they camped under stars, Miles looked up at Rory. "You know, flying is just falling with style." Rory chuckled, "Says the mouse who rides hawks on weekends." Miles giggled, then coughed as he inhaled a whole chunk of cheese. Chapter 2: The Shadow Serpent. At the peak of the Shadow Tor, the sky grew black. Smoke coiled around a cave, and from its depths slithered a creature with glaring red eyes, and oozing a shadowy mist, the Shadow Serpent. "You dare come for the crystal feather," it hissed. Rory stepped back. Miles tugged at his wing. "We didn't come to fight," Miles said boldly. "We came to save our valley. Without warning, the serpent lunged. In that instant, Rory leapt, wings stretched wide, still striding to fly. A few thrusts, but then grounded. Miles clung to his horns, squeaking directions. "You've got this, Rory," he chirped. Dodging and evading smoke and venom, Rory flapped and bounced around the cave, leading the serpent into a dizzy dance, until the creature tied itself in a hazy knot and collapsed with a huff. Miles scurried deeper into the cave, noticing a pulsing light in the darkness. "Where are you going, Miles?" "I see something," Miles whispered. It was the crystal feather. "Rory, I found it," he squeaked. He turned towards Rory and held the glowing feather high. "We did it, friend," Rory beamed. "We should get back to the village and tell the others." Chapter 3: Return of the Feather. When Rory and Miles returned to the village, Tullius took the crystal feather and thanked the young adventurers. Rory dreamed of being the Sky Guardian, the official protector of the skies of the Valley of Windermere. Now was his chance, although he still did not like heights. But with Miles on his shoulder, he would be brave and encouraged to face any fear. However, Windermere still suffered, plants and animals still struggled in this once glorious valley. What else did the heroes need to do? The end. Or perhaps, the beginning of many more adventures. Moral of the story: true courage isn't about being fearless. It's about facing your fears with a friend by your side.
Bitzskee.